There's a new critter in the shed. What's happening, guys? My name is Jamie, this is the Norwich Reptile Shed, and in this video we're going to be talking about our newest resident. So I'll give you a quick backstory. Me and my wife Kaylee work with a animal sanctuary up here in Norwich. We kind of try to help as much as we can with reptiles. We don't necessarily take in reptiles because I kind of want to give all the space in this shed to the animals that are already in here, which most of them are rescues anyway. But this was kind of a special case. My wife has wanted a bearded dragon, a rescue bearded dragon, for a very long time, and we were approached by the sanctuary because someone had contacted them basically saying that they needed to move out to rented accommodation. They've got a 14-year-old male bearded dragon. It's got a Viv, and can they pass it on to them? They're a wildlife sanctuary, so they don't tend to take on reptiles. So they went to us and we said, do you know what, for a year or 2 years, we could give it a nice retirement and let it live out its life here in the shed while we've, while I'm still building things. I've got a little bit of space for a vivarium in here for one. So that brings me on to the vivarium. I'm going to show you the vivarium because it's not what I think is optimum for a bearded dragon. That is the size. The equipment being used is very outdated. The heating situation is potentially unsafe, and it's not the type of thing that I would like to use in the shed and have running in the shed without my supervision. So without further ado, let's go and have a look at the vivarium. So this is the main man. Health-wise, he's okay. I would say I'd like to see a little bit more weight on him, but like we said earlier, he's a 14-year-old bearded dragon, so starting to lose weight could be, it ties in with the fact that he is getting old, getting on a bit. So I'm still going to obviously try and bulk him up. I'm going to offer him as much food as possible. But let's have a quick look at the vivarium. Now, I don't want to, I don't want to slate people. I don't want to be horrible. They've tried the best they can, and they've, kept it probably up to a standard at some point in the past. But technology improves, husbandry improves, and we can do a little bit better than this now. So I'll talk you through what I personally don't like. The first thing is DIY fixtures. I'm not a fan of them. I think coupled with heat, these aren't designed to have constant amount of heat and UV on them. I've used them before in the past. I've used the ceramic ones, but everything I use now is Reptile branded. It's on a metal bracket. It's on a ceramic holder. The wires have been have a sheave on them which protects against heat. So the chances of this wire here, this mains wire, becoming brittle is far less likely. It's safer just to run in the reptile vivarium. That wasn't hooked up to a thermostat. It was just, that's a 100-watt lamp in there on, all day. So first thing I did was quickly run a dimming thermostat down here. So I've got a Swell's own brand, which is actually the same as the Havistat day and night dimming thermostat, digital one. So I've run that down there just to protect against overheating. So we've done that. Obviously his new vivarium is going to have a thermostat built into it as well. Then they've got the T8 lighting, which apparently is a new lamp, which is great. This technology is still sold in reptile shops, but T5 exists now, and T5 is a much more efficient way of providing UVB rays to the animal. So I'm not going to be using T8, and this is actually the only T8 tube that is now. I thought I'd got rid of T8 tubes altogether with the big ballasts and the starters and all that sort of stuff, and it roasting hot. So yeah, that's one of them are back in the shed, but that's going to be gone soon. So we're actually going to be ripping this out and replacing it with Reptile Systems Eco fitting. The Ferguson Zone 3 lamp in there, 24 watt, which is perfect for a 4x2. And then obviously decor wise, we can do a bit better than that, can't we? In the shed, we do a bit better than that. So luckily for him, he's been positioned on a 4x2x2 Vivarium. This is about 90% done. This was actually for our leopard geckos, but I am now changing the plan. The leopard geckos are going to go into another vivarium before I build another 4x2. He's going to get a 4x2. He's going to get this vivarium. We're going to kit it out, and I'm going to show you how my wife did this whole thing, plus finishing it up with all the electrics and bits like that. So let's crack on with our sexy time-lapse music.
I am sanding off the sharp edges so Rocky doesn't cut his little fingers and toes.
2 hours later.
How safe are those rocks?
Really safe. They'll all be round in a minute.
in all his glory. So we finished the vivarium a few days ago now, and Rocky's been in there testing it all out, having a little explore. So yeah, I'll quickly talk you through idea for this vivarium and the reason we built it like we did. So we could have gone obviously really elaborate with this, like the rest of our builds, and we could have made a big rock work background, loads of bits to climb on and things like that. But this guy's 14 years old, so what we decided to do instead was make more of almost like a retirement home for him, I suppose. So we've got all brand new equipment in here. I'll just point you up here. We've got Reptile Systems halogen lamp in one of their fixtures, which is actually movable. So I've actually been able to just angle it slightly at this rock. Obviously the camera doesn't help, but this bulb is far out of the reach for old Rocky there. He can't get anywhere near the lamp, so I'm not worried about guarding it. And then we've also got in there a Ferguson Zone 3 UVB T5 fitting, again from Reptile Systems, and it just lights this thing up beautifully. I'm really happy with the with how Kaylee's managed to sort of get that all in there nice for him. We've got this UV sort of either side of the halogen spot, so there's lovely bits of gradients all over the place. And yeah, and then all we've done for a bit of full spectrum lighting is up there we've mounted a 10 watt LED floodlight, and that just kind of lights up the rest of the vivarium and ties it all together. So I don't know if you could tell from the time lapse, but Kaylee, my wife, built pretty much all of this vivarium, and I think they did a really good job of it. So if you look back, you'll see me maybe sitting on the outside shouting some words of advice for doing the electrics and bits like that. But this is Kaylee's baby, and I think really good. We've chosen wood to be quite, easy to climb up on. He's got loads of sort of cool hiding spots down here, behind this sort of stuff as well. Obviously he has the difference in textures between basking on the wood, basking on the rocks. So we've kind of made it easy while also trying to recreate a kind of wooded scrubland in Australia. And I'll quickly talk you through exactly what's going on inside here as well. So this is all wood that we found dried out in our local woodland. So this isn't wet or rotting or anything like that. It's just a nice piece of dried out wood that we've managed to sort of cut up and fit in here nicely. We've then got 3 big slate stones. These are from a garden centre, so they're I can't remember, a few quid each or something like that. And they're pretty much them with 2 bags of topsoil and a little bit of play sand. It's pretty much all we purchased to make this vivarium like this. Obviously we've got some live plants, they cost money, but the wood is all free. The stone is, about a tenner's worth there. So it really isn't hard or expensive to kind of make a natural looking vivarium. We've just got to put a little bit more work into it and find your parts, source your things, go to different shops, and sometimes it's worth looking outside of what you can find in a reptile shop. So that about wraps this video up, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Slightly different again for the reptile shed in that we've taken in a rescue. Most of these animals in here were rescues, but about 10 years ago. So it's quite new for us to take in something like this and be able to build an enclosure for it. If you want to support the channel, please let me know by dropping a comment, liking, subscribing, all of that kind of stuff. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, please head over to my Patreon page. It will cost you £3 a month and I get to put your name on the start of each video. thank you very much for watching this one, and I'll catch you in the next video.